So we started the computer systems and software last time, and we did the part one, the learning outcome one last time. We understand components of computer systems. Yeah.
Yes.
And today we will discuss the understand the computer software, and obviously we will be following the indicative content like operating systems, software applications, web applications, mobile applications, and its subtopics.
Okay.
Now, what is a software? Do you have any idea about it?
It's a part of a computer that is invisible and untouchable.
Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. Let me go ahead with formal definitions, and you will understand more. The instruction in the form of programs which control the operations of a computer together with the associated documentation. Software is a set of electronic instructions that tells the computer how to do certain tasks. A set of instructions is often called a program. When a computer is using a particular program, it is said to be running or executing the program. There are two types of the software. One is the system software, other is the application software. Let us discuss about the system software. Programs that coordinate the operation of a computer, facilitate the efficient use of computer's resources, and assist in development of application programs. So basically, the system software, as the name implies, that the software which is responsible for the system, for the computer itself, which coordinates the operation of computer itself. Also, facilitate the efficient use of computers resources, like how to better utilize the processor, RAM, and other components, and may also help in developing other programs. So overall, the system software is responsible. System software exists primarily for the computer itself, like Windows is a system software to help the computer perform specific functions. One major type of software system is called the operating system, basically. When you talk about the system software, then at major level, you talk about operating system. And all computers require an operating system. Yeah?
Yes, is Windows a kind of OS?
Yes. No, Windows is an operating system, and it is a kind of system software.
I see.
Yeah. So Windows is a kind of operating system, and obviously, if you say that Windows is one of the type of the operating systems, like Windows, Linux, and others as well. Okay. Now, the operating system tells the computer how to interact with the user and its own devices. So whenever we communicate with a computer, we communicate via operating system. The operating system allows us to give commands to the computer. Common operating systems includes Windows, Macintosh, OS, OS2, Unix, Linux. Have you heard about the Linux? Have you heard about the Linux?
Hello?
Hello, yeah. Have you heard about Linux?
Yes, I heard of that, but I'm not sure what it's like.
Yeah. So different types of the operating systems are used in the world, and Windows is one of them. There are many more softwares, really depending on what type of the software is and their advantages and disadvantages involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A program that acts as an intermediary between a user of a computer and computer hardware. Operating system controls and coordinates the use of hardware among the various application programs for various users. Resource allocator. The operating system is also sometimes called as a resource allocator, which manages and allocates the resource. So resource is basically the, let's say, if you have a RAM of the computer, if you have a hard drive of the computer, so that is basically the resource. So it is the responsibility of the operating system to manage and reallocate the resource in a kind of hardware to the users. It's also called as a control program, which controls the execution of user programs and operations of input-output devices. The kernel is the one program running all the times, all else being applications programs. So, for example, if you are not using the computer at all, the computer is on and no activity of, let's say, copying, deleting, updating is being done, but
Yes.
the kernel is a kind of small program that runs all the time. Is it clear?
Yes. I have a question.
Sorry?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are both RAM and ROM part of resource allocator?
Sorry, say again.
You said that RAM is a part of resource allocator.
Yeah.
Is that correct? But is ROM also a part of resource allocator?
We are talking about operating system basically. Yeah. So these all are definitions of operating system.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Okay. Yes.
So you can call the operating system as a resource allocator. It's a control program, and another terminology related with operating system is that the kernel is a program, a part of operating system that runs all the time whenever the computer is on. So when you say that, for example, if your computer is on, then it is not necessary that the whole operating system is functioning, but only the kernel is being running.
Okay.
So generally, in simple words, that for the knowledge purpose, a part of operating system, which is called kernel, that runs all the time.
I understand.
Okay. Now, operating system types. Below is the basic list of types of operating systems and a few examples of operating systems that fall into each types. MS-DOS, standard operating system for IBM compatible personal computers. This is MS-DOS is basically the non-graphical user interface, and that used to be the very first old operating system.
I see.
So like, when they used to type the commands, then this type of operating system was used. Like we can have a look. Like this. The DOS used to be here. So this is DOS. This is the disk operating system. DOS. Its current version is like 10.0. Previously, it used to be very old computers, and then the entry of the computer used to start from this DOS. So C drive, and there are many commands in the DOS that we use, like these attrib, associated, copy, paste, delete. So instead of using the mouse, previously it used to be in this way. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So then GUI based, short form for graphical user interface. A GUI operating system contains graphics and icons. The time when we use this today is GUI based operating system, is commonly navigated by using a computer mouse. Examples of GUI based operating systems are System 7X, Windows 98, Windows TE, Windows 7, 8, 10, right?
Okay.
Now, the nature of the operating systems, like a multi-user. A multi-user operating system allows for multiple users to use the same computer at the same time and different times.
I understand.
Yeah, so examples of operating system that would fall into this category are Linux, Unix, Windows 2000. So multiple users connected with a one computer, possibly at one time or at different times, is basically considered as a multi-user. Now, multi-processing. An operating system capable of supporting and utilizing more than one computer processor. Examples of operating systems that would fall into this category are Linux, Unix, Windows XP. Basically, the processor, you remember we discussed the processor before in the last class?
No.
Central Processing Unit, CPU.
Yes, I remember. Is that something like a board?
Sorry?
Is that something like a board?
Not a board, but a chip.
Yes.
Yeah?
I remember.
Yeah, so the processor. Initially, there used to be only one processor in one computer. But nowadays, if you might have heard that this is a dual core processor. This is a core 2 duo processor, core i3 processor, core i5 processor, core i7 processor. Do you know about it?
No.
What is the which one is your processor at the moment?
I don't understand.
Okay. When you right click on the computer and click on the properties, you look at the type of processor here, Intel Core i5 3210 blah blah blah, and CPU is 2.5 and 2.5 gigahertz. Can you have a look that there are two processors here? Like it's mentioning two processors. If you go to device manager, then you can have a look. There are four processors here.
Yes.
Okay. So if you will have a core i5, then you will have a 6 processors being listed. Okay.
Okay.
So when you talk about multiprocessing, then if the computer has more than one processor, then it is the capability of operating system to support and utilize more than one computer processors.
I see.
You got it?
Maybe yes.
Okay. So initially, the computers used to have a single user, like one person connected with a computer, maybe using the one keyboard and one mouse, and it used to have one processor. But later on, one computer could be connected with more than one user,
Yes.
and one computer can have more than one processor, so that each processor could do their own work from according to their own schedule or to better utilization. Yeah.
I understand.
Okay, fine. Now multitasking, an operating system that is capable of allowing multiple software processes to run at the same time. Examples of operating system that would fall into this category are Linux, Unix, Windows 10. So multitasking, that operating system today we are using, they are basically multitasking. We are using the Chrome, we are using the uh, PowerPoint presentation, we are using the Join Me, so many things can be used.
And each of them uses its own operating system.
Sorry?
And it each of them uses its own processor. Is
Yes,
that correct?
depends that if the computer has one or two or three processors, then the tasks are divided to different processors because of multitasking.
I understand.
Like one processor is holding the operating system like Windows, then other processor might be helping to run the other programs.
I see.
Okay. Multi-threading, operating systems that allow different parts of a software program to run concurrently. Examples of operating systems that would fall into this category are Linux, Unix, Windows. Now, multi-threading is basically if your one program is larger than, like it's a very big, then when you divide one program into two different processors, for example, if you need two processors to run Windows 10, then half of the program will be running on one processor and half of the program will be running on other processor. So this would be considered as by with the help of multi-threading technique. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe these terms little bit difficult for you to understand, but once you will be studying more about the IT and other units, then these terminologies will be clear to you, uh, maybe later on in more depth, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Now, application software. So previously we were discussing about the system software. Like a system software is a window. We normally we don't want the computer to run only the Windows. Is that true?
So, sorry, I couldn't catch you.
I mean, if you buy the computer, you
Yes?
buy the Windows, then do you
Yes?
only use the window?
No, probably not.
Okay, so basically you buy the Windows to run like Internet Explorer. You buy the window to learn to work on the Microsoft Office and all other programs, right? So
Yes?
other programs that you need to use are called application softwares.
Yes?
Okay, the application software can be general purpose application software and special purpose application software. Okay,
Yes?
so when
Yes?
you talk about the general purpose application software, the software developed to aid the general problem solving needs of people. It is not dedicated to any particular use but may be used in many different situations. So, for example, word processing creates, edits, prints text-based documents. So, Microsoft Word is one of the example which is used for word processing, like a text
I
document.
see.
Yeah,
I see.
and like Notepad and WordPad are also can be called the word processing documents. Yeah.
Yes?
Spreadsheets organizes, calculates, and graphs and data. Like when you use the Microsoft Excel, then you talk about the spreadsheet. Have you used ever the spreadsheet like Excel?
Yes, I've used Excel before.
Yeah. So the type of the Excel program is called the spreadsheets.
I understand.
Okay. The database management system organizes related data so that it can be easily retrieved. The Microsoft Access is a kind of database management system. Have you also used the MS Access?
Uh, no, I don't know that.
Okay, no problem. So whenever you use the database, that to store the data is a kind of database management system. Then presentation graphics create professional looking graphics, and presentation like this is a kind of presentation as well. The Microsoft PowerPoint is the presentation graphics, because we can write this text into the Word, but we have created the presentation into a kind of software. So these are called the presentations. Okay. Communication.
Yes?
Communication allowing access to the internet and World Wide Web. So using like a browser is one kind of general purpose software used as an application software in order to browse the internet, like Chrome, Internet Explorer, and Firefox.
I
Now,
see.
yeah, so these are the communication software. Still, they are the category of special purpose, the general purpose softwares, because you generally use them like a word processor, spreadsheet, database, presentation, graphics, etc.
Yes? Yes?
Okay.
Yes?
Now, application software. Sorry. Again, we talk about the special purpose software now. These are applications which are specific to performing a certain task, like management, accounting, entertainment, education, scientific, and engineering. So any specific software that you will use for any entertainment, education, or whatever, if it is accounting software, then those will be called as special purpose software.
I see.
Yeah. So, is it good to classify into categories?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So, this unit is the introduction to computers. That's why these things are very important to understand as well as to remember. So, you
Okay.
must remember these things for your life.
Okay.
Okay. Now, World Web applications. What is World Wide Web? A World Wide Web, abbreviated WWW or web, is an information space where documents and other web resources are identified by URL. URL is the short form of Uniform Resource Locator, interlinked by hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are the links in a page and can be accessed via the internet. English scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web in 1989. Clear?
I'm not very sure.
Simply, the internet is called the World Wide Web.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, fine. And it is most important to remember that who invented World Wide Web? Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. That's a very common question being asked in general knowledge.
I see.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to know that who invented, and those who are the IT professionals, they should remember this. And if you don't remember this inventor of the internet, like a Tim Berners-Lee, then probably you missed, and you might be considered as illiterate of the IT, even if you have a big degree in the IT. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, fine. Now, impact of World Wide Web. 5 positive effects of internet. It helps. It is easier to do research. Using internet, it helps to do research.
Yes.
Communication with family, friends, and relatives becomes faster. True.
Yes.
There is a great possibility to earn while working from home.
Yes.
Faster business transactions and cheaper products.
Yes.
Saving on travel costs.
Maybe. Yes.
Obviously, because you can buy a cheaper fares wherever you are traveling if you have internet. And if you didn't know any offers, then probably you could buy the expensive tickets from the booking office.
I understand.
Okay. Now, negative effects of internet. Children, young adults, and even adults get addicted to games online.
Yes.
Pornography is uncontrolled.
Yes.
Loss of human touch, real social contact loss.
Yes.
Criminal elements use information to advance their malicious intents.
Yes.
Abandonment of family.
Maybe yes.
Like, if you have internet, then you leave the family, you keep away from the family. Yeah. And that's the problem. Is it true?
Uh, I'm not like that, but there are some people like that.
Yeah, nowadays many people basically they don't give time to family, and they all the time they are in the mobile and using the internet. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a big problem that today majority of the people are using the internet all the time.
Yes, everybody at home is using internet all the time, and they do not give time to the family, but everybody is connected with internet with some activity. That's
Yes,
true.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Now we talk about the architecture of web applications. The general architecture of web applications can be described as a user from a web browser initiating an application that may run on one or more websites. Websites communicate to one another, may exchange data, or start processes. Websites are accessed via URL, Uniform Resource Locator. For example, www.bbc.co.uk is basically the URL.
Yes.
So when you talk normally about the internet address, then you are basically talking accessing a URL indeed.
I understand.
Okay, fine. Now web application types. Type 1, static web application. Name is static, means very simple, not changing, displays little text, little content, no flexible, developed in HTML, CSS, jQuery, Ajax, etc. Status, animated objects, GIFs and videos only. So normal page for information purpose, they are the static web. Dynamic web applications, complex on technical level, use database for loading data contents, operates with an administrative panel called CMS, content management systems. Content modification is simply and handy, developed using PHP and ASP.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any question from here?
No.
Okay, fine. Dynamic is means that whatever you have on the in the page, it is dynamically generated.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've heard of a programming language called Java. So,
Yeah.
does Java develop which of these applications?
Yes,
Which of the
Java.
applications does
Yeah.
Java develop?
Yes. The Java is a modern programming language. Yeah.
Yes.
That is the basic uh, language of used by Java, which helps to create applications and dynamic web pages as well. Yes, you are right. But Java itself uses the JSP, Java Server Pages, and Java Server Pages are written into Java language.
Ah,
Okay, so yes, when
okay.
you say that when you create a dynamic web application in
Yes.
Java, it means the language will be used as Java, and the uh, the actual technology will be used as Java Server Pages for creating the dynamic web applications. Clear?
Mm, yes, I understand.
Okay, fine. Now, the third type is shop online or e-commerce, involves electronic payments, operates with administrative panel to add, delete or modify product information, fully responsive application. Mobile version is clone of web app. So normally when you shop online is a kind of e-commerce websites. That's also the third type of the websites. Is that clear?
Yes.
Fine. The portal web application access content various scenarios, sections, categories through a home page, includes chat, forum, email, latest content, etc. So portal web app is kind of aggregating the one or two or more websites into one portal, like travel portal, like when you want to uh, plan a trip, then a portal can give you a hotel, an airline, a taxi, and a few more things to organize your tour. So all they come under the type of portal web application. Is that clear?
Yes.
Fine.
Maybe.
Then animated web application displays content with animated effects, is based primarily on Flash technology, not suitable for web positioning purposes. So have you heard about the Flash?
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so when you see any animated web applications, then mostly you use the Flash. Then
Okay.
web applications with CMS, content management system, uses the CMS to modify content on the website. Common CMS are WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, commonly used for content pages, blogs, news pages, articles, media. So nowadays, if your web page is dynamic, then you don't need to create your application, for example, in Java or in other applications, but you have a complete management system, content management system like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, that helps you to create your website very easily, and you have a panel, control panel and everything, that you will not need to do much more in order to produce your website.
I understand.
Okay, fine. Now web services. The term web service describes a standard way of integrating web-based applications using XML, SOAP, WSDL, and UDDI open standards over an internet protocol backbone. So basically, uh, if you know the websites, and one website is not sufficient to give you the more than one service, then a term web service helps you to integrate web-based applications using XML, extensible markup language, SOP, simple object access protocol, WSDL is web service description language, universal description directory integration. So these kind of protocols. So XML is a data format used to contain data and provide metadata around it. SOAP is used to transfer the data. WSDL is used for describing the services available, and UDDI is the list what services are available. A web service is a method of communication between two electronic devices over the network. It's a software function provides at a network address over the web, with service always on, as in the concept of utility computing. Any question? Maybe
I'm,
maybe lots of questions.
yes, I'm not very sure about the word web service.
Yes, basically that's the strong concept. Yeah, very like advanced concept, and you can understand this, but simply if you remember these definitions, that one for example, if these type of applications, web applications, have to work as a utility computing, like as a service, you don't need to buy a software, but you need to use any application as a service, then that's called the web service. For example, do you have a Microsoft Word installed on your computer?
Yes.
Then instead of installing the Microsoft Office in your computer, if you use the MS Office on web browser, then you don't need to buy or install the MS Office, but you can use it as a service. Is it possible?
I don't know.
Yes, that's possible. So there are many softwares which you don't need to buy, but use online and save your data and everything, then that would be considered as a web service. Very simple. Okay?
Okay.
Now, role of mobile applications. A mobile application software or mobile app. Have you heard about app? Mobile app?
Yes.
Like, you use in Apple or Android, these are called the apps. Is an application software designed to run on mobile devices such as smartphones and tablet computers. Mobile apps often stand in contrast to desktop applications that run on desktop computers and with web applications which run in mobile web browsers rather than directly on mobile devices. The term is shortening of the term application software. So simply the apps that you use, they are called the application software for mobiles. Yeah?
Yes.
Mobile apps have become an integral part of our lives and we rely on them in more than one way. Is it true? No, basically, you use your mobile nowadays too much. That's true.
Yes.
You use the mobile apps as well. Is that true?
Yes.
For example, which apps do you use?
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook, maybe the calendar, maybe the banking, maybe Skype, maybe the calculator. Everything is in the mobile apps. Yeah.
Yes.
Like App Store or Google Play, Google Store. All these are the mobile. They provide you the apps. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So mobile apps provide you better communication. There are so many apps now that help you communicate with your loved ones more easily. Before apps like WhatsApp and Skype were developed, we had to rely on computers and laptops for Skype sessions or face long distance calling charges. Is that true?
Yes.
It is not just that we are now closer to our loved ones in distant corners of the earth. Businesses have also expanded due to the improved communication to clients all over the world. Now you can also get new communication apps developed through app development companies. Social media is no longer just a platform for common people to interact with their friends and family. There are a number of businesses based on social media apps and websites, and social media is one of the cheapest and effective marketing tools. If you have the social media app in your mobile, you can manage your business more easily and efficiently. Is that true?
Yes.
Fine. Organized life. simple fact is that mobile phones have become one of the most central part of our lives, and that is mostly due to the apps. We have our contacts, our personal information, details about our important projects. It's all stored in our mobile phones in an organized manner with the help of time management apps. Our goals and to-do list and the alarms and notifications are all set according to our requirements to make our lives easier and more efficient. Is that true?
Yes. Sure.
Small screens, now some problems. Those were the benefits. Now there are certain problems with the mobile apps like a small screen. In spite of the modern trends towards larger screen phones, what makes mobile phones so convenient and portable is their small size. Compared with the desktop and even laptop screens, phone screens accommodate a lot less content. As a result, screen size is a serious limitation for mobile interface design. So normally the screen, when we wanted to enjoy any movie on the mobile, then obviously the screen will be smaller. Is that true?
Yes, true.
Single window, although some phone manufacturers trying to accommodate multiple windows on the screen at the same time, the limited size of the mobile screen makes that goal quite unpractical. Even with today's larger screen phones, the vast majority of users only see a single window and thus a single application or website at a time. They cannot split the screen as on the desktop and work with two different apps simultaneously. A single window constraint means that design should be self-sufficient. Any mobile task should be easy to complete in a single app or in a single website. Users should not have to leave an app or website to find information that appears that app requires but that it doesn't provide. Is that true? That the single window is the only available option in the mobile app at the moment?
No, I don't think that's true.
Why?
I know some kind of smartphone enables users to do multitasking at the same time.
Yeah, but the reason is basically that overall we use one application at a one time. In majority, like in computer we use the, let's say, Microsoft browser, we use the Join Me, we use the presentation, and we use few more things. But for example, if we look at the iPhone, then hardly either we will be using the Facebook at one time and at one screen, or Instagram once we close it, or any third application. In normal, we only use one app at a time. Is that true?
Yes, true, in normal.
Yeah, in normal. So single window is the issue at the moment.
Yes.
Touch screen, yeah. Touch screen come with many blessings and sins. Gestures represent a hidden alternate user interface that, when built in with the right offenders, can make the interaction fluid and efficient and can save screen real estate. But they also suffer from low memorability and discoverability. On the other hand, it's hard to type proficiently on a tiny virtual keyboard, and it's easy to accidentally touch the wrong target. So simply, the touch screen is also the little bit problem, that it is difficult to type on the mobile as compared to the computer keyboard. Is that true?
Yes, true.
Yeah, so touch screen is also the issue. Connectivity issues like GPS, camera, accelerometer, voice, and other phone features. Phones come with many limitations, but also with many unique features, some of them available only to apps, others also accessible via websites. The camera, microphone, GPS are conveniently integrated into the device and can be easily used to make input easier and get around some of the difficulty of typing. But it is little bit difficult that all the time you might connect everything like a GPS, camera, voice, anything at one time. Is that true?
Yes.
So that's also the issue. The security, like a building secure apps, mobile malware exploits vulnerabilities or bugs in the coding of the mobile apps. Applying security best practices to mobile app development, including the use of secure source code scanning tool, can help make mobile apps resilient to such an attack. It is also important to analyze code from third parties or any app that is allowed to coexist on phones used by employees. In this case, executables rather than source code should be scanned. So, if you are getting any app, you are downloading any app, then it is not necessary that it is secure or not. We normally do it on our own risk. Is that true?
Yes.
Like you download the YouTube, then it's fine, the app. But any other video application, it is not 100% sure that there will not be any virus or malfunctioning over there. Is that true?
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
The topic is building secure applications. Okay. If you are using the secure application of mobile, then
Yes.
if you trust them, then you will be safe. But if you don't trust any app, if it is new, can it harm to your mobile and your data?
Yes.
So the security is an issue in the mobile applications as well. Is that true?
Yes.
So you should consider about it. So we are discussing these issues with the mobile applications. So there are certain issues like interface issues, like a single window, the touch screen, connectivity issues, and the security issues. Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Making devices risk aware. An app security is deeply impacted by the underlying device security. An unsecured device is one that has been modified by its owner or an unauthorized app to bypass operating system security, in turn allowing the installation of an app from any source, such as devices known as jailbroken or rooted devices are very susceptible to mobile malware, while many organizations prevent such devices from accessing company networks. Jailbreak technology is evolving to evade detection. So not only the apps are problem of security, but they are risking to the mobile as well. Some of the applications, if you are installing, they can harm your mobile as well. Is that true?
Yes.
Sometime when you install the certain applications, then you fault your mobile very easily. Is that true?
You see if it contains some viruses.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So preventing data theft and leakage. When mobile apps access company data, documents are often stored on devices itself. If the device is lost, or if data is shared with the non-business applications, the potential for data loss is heightened. So you can lose your data as well if you have data in your mobile. That's also the problem. No matter if you save or backup, but that is also the problem, then you can lose your data very easily. Yeah?
Yes.
Restricting high-risk assets and transactions. Mobile apps are built to interact with back-end services. For example, mobile banking apps allow customers to transfer money to third parties. Do you use the mobile banking?
Is that the same as online banking?
You do the online banking, but nowadays mobile, you can use the online banking on the mobile as well. Is it?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
fine.
I use it.
Yeah. So while mobile banking applications enable sales people to update their forecast and access critical account data by using contexts such as whereas the access or transactions are involved. So these mobile applications or any transactions are at high risk when you are using the mobile. So applications like transaction related are at little bit risk. Is that true? Some people avoid using the mobile banking at all. Is that true?
Yes, true.
Yeah. So that's it. It was about the issues. We discussed about the types of web applications, and we discussed about the application softwares, the types of the softwares, operating systems, and the system software and application software are one of them. Yeah.
Yes. And do I have any assignments for today's and last class, please?
Say again.
Do I have any assignments for today's class or last class?
Yes, basically you will need to create an assignment. The assessment is totally based on your assignments.
Yes. So,
So
maybe I should. Yes.
So you can have a look on the Moodle. There is the sample assignment that you need to work on. So this is the assignment for you. You can download it and you can write down your assignment maybe now or whenever. So your assignments will be assessed and then you will qualify for the pass.
Then I'll check the learner management service.
Sorry?
I will check the learner management service.
Yeah.
System. Okay,
sorry, the
so
voice is
thank you
breaking.
thank you for today's class.
Yeah, most welcome. So you have a look on the assignment, yeah, and the unit is completed. You can try to answer this assignment, and that's the only way that you will be assessed by the assignments. Is that clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Yeah. So assessment will be based on the assignment, and once all your units will be completed and you will provide the assignments, then you will get the certificate. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many?
Yeah.
How many classes left for completing this unit?
This unit is already completed. It had only 2 learning outcomes, the learning outcome 1 and learning outcome 2. So this unit is already completed, and you will get the assignment brief on the Moodle. Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, that's fine. So I would see you next week again. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye.